Radio Ninesprings for Yeovil and South Somerset, Taylor Swift and the Fate of Ophelia. Afternoon, I'm Neil Quigley. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Last Sunday, I met up with a mate of mine for a coffee. Well, I had a latte and we had a catch up. We were sitting in a cafe talking when suddenly I got distracted by a psychedelic picture of Roland the Rat. If you don't know who that was, he had a children's show on morning television when I was a child, and I liked him so much I was a member of his official fan club, which from memory meant I got a badge, a certificate and the odd letter. Have you ever been an official fan club member of anything? Sienna Spiro and Die on This Hill at Radio Ninesprings. Ronan Keating on the way next. Hot Fuzz is one of the most quotable British comedy films of recent years, and the city that offered the backdrop for it has seen a huge increase in tourism. The film, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost as two police officers, is set in the sleepy Gloucestershire town of Sandford, but in reality it was filmed entirely in Wells in Somerset. Apparently, people will happily travel 4 to 5 hours to see the Hot Fuzz location. I went to the premiere that they had for the film in Wells, but because the cinema was so small, I couldn't get a ticket to see the film, but I did have an invite to the VIP party afterwards. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost were there, as was the director Edgar Wright. I didn't manage to speak to any of them, and as it happened, somebody I knew was the DJ for the night. It was good fun, but only I could be invited to a film premiere and not actually see the film. I have watched it since. Radio Ninesprings with the 1975 and I'm in Love with You. Scissor Sisters on the way in a few moments. I went to see some local football with my dad recently. We went to watch a team I used to play for when I was about 21. I still recognise quite a few of the older supporters there, but needless to say, not any of the players. It wasn't a great game, to be honest, and this is possibly my ego talking, but even though I'm probably 20 years older than the oldest players in the game, I still think I could have played and looked all right out there. But since I have retired, I have learned that it is a lot easier to play football from the sidelines. Radio Ninesprings, Hilary Duff with Mature, a great song from the Communards on the way next. I'm trying to be a bit healthier at the minute by exercising a bit more and attempting to be slightly more careful what I eat. Last weekend, as a treat, and because they were on offer, my girlfriend got me a box of the orange matchmakers, which I think are the most addictive thing in the world. Worse than Pringles. Please don't judge me, but I finished the whole lot in 2 days. I seemingly have no willpower when it comes to chocolate. Stephen Sanchez and Sweet Love at Radio Ninesprings. Nigella Lawson will replace Dame Prue Leith on the Great British Bake Off. Channel 4 has confirmed. Dame Prue, who has been a judge on the reality baking competition since 2017, announced last week that she would leave the series. Nigella, who will join Paul Hollywood as a judge, said, "Of course it's daunting to be following in the footsteps of Prue Leith and Mary Berry before her, great dames both, but I'm also bubbling with excitement and hoping for damehood." She didn't say that last bit. I think we might get back to the same innuendo levels we enjoyed when Mel and Sue used to host it, with Nigella now on board. Radio Ninesprings, Tate McRae and Greedy. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, what is the oldest coin you have in your purse or your wallet, or maybe tucked away in a drawer somewhere? I'll explain why I ask, and I'll play you a great song from Sister Sledge after we get the latest news, which is next. Radio Ninesprings for Yeovil and South Somerset. blue with beautiful spiritual. I'm Neil Quigley. Hope you're having a good Saturday. More than 200 coins are expected to fetch in the region of £30,000 at auction. The collection was found 22 years ago by builders who were working on a house extension near Blandford Forum. Peter Gray, who's a retired international bank inspector, said he was selling the coins because he and his wife Jackie were moving house. The builders discovered these coins. Now, I asked, what was the oldest coin you have on you? It won't be as old as these. They discovered a pottery vessel containing 213 coins, with the majority dating back from the reign of Henry VII. That's 1485 to 1509. That is some find. It's amazing they've survived that long. I bet there will be museums who do not have exhibits as old as those coins. Shakira and Whenever, Wherever at Radio Ninesprings. Jennifer Page on the way for you next. I see that the Arrow pub in Yeovil is closing for a bit for some renovation work. During England World Cup match, I once did a radio show live from there one afternoon. It was so loud during the game, I could not even really hear what I was saying. I'm sure it was an interesting show. I must have looked very strange in a bar full of people drinking and watching football, just wandering around with my headphones on, holding a microphone. But it was great fun. Some of the crazy things you end up doing sometimes in the name of entertainment. World Cup year this year, of course. Come on, England. Radio Ninesprings, Dominic Fike with 3 Nights. The Killers on the way in just a bit. I have now seen a few episodes of the new Dawn French sitcom Can You Keep a Secret? It was filmed in Somerset, so lots of it looks very familiar, so I thought I should support it and give it a watch. I thought it was really good. It's funny, and it does remind me a bit of The Vicar of Dibley, although Dawn's character in this new one is far from holy. It is worth a look if you fancy a bit of a laugh. Radio Ninesprings, Bruno Mars with I Just Might, Jennifer Lopez on the way next this afternoon. I am going to be 50 at the end of this year. Thanks. I know I don't look it. That's very kind of you. A mate of mine is thinking about doing the 50 things before he is 50 this year, and he's 50 in June. I thought about it, but that would mean I would have to do one new thing a week all the way up to my birthday, and that sounds like a bit too much hard work at the moment. Maybe 5 things before I'm 50 would be a bit better. Mumford & Sons and the Banjo Song at Radio Ninesprings. I've been trying to make more videos this year for my YouTube channel. I already do a monthly podcast on there, and if you like a pop quiz, there are over 30 episodes of my own one, Quiggers Plays Pop, up there, which I did during the lockdowns. Remember them? Recent videos include my first teddy bear, a replica TV prop I bought, and how I failed to learn the ukulele I got nearly 10 years ago. You can find all these videos on my YouTube channel, which is called Neil Quigley TV. Bruce Springsteen and Glory Days. This is my last show on Radio Ninesprings. From next week, the brilliant Rick Simmons will be starting at the earlier time of 2 p.m, so you are in extremely good hands. I have had a great 5.5 years here at the station. I've enjoyed every second. Thanks for keeping me company on a Saturday afternoon. I have loved our chats, but all good things, I guess, must come to an end. Stay safe, look after yourselves and each other, please. The aforementioned Rick Simmons is on the way next after we get the latest news.